In the complex world of corporate finance, handling expenses finance effectively while meeting regulatory requirements can be overwhelming. Recognizing this, Swipey, a fintech firm, offers a solution to streamline expenses management. Since its launch in March 2022, Swipey has gained attention, serving over 1,000 companies nationwide, especially in the digital economy sector. And it was even mentioned in Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim's speech as an innovative company. Swipey isn't just for small, medium enterprises, but also expanding to serve larger businesses. And to discuss further on this is already on the line co-founder and CEO at Swipey, Kalyana Mohon Tyagarajan. I want to say thank you very much, Kalyana, for joining us. How does Swipey differentiate itself from other fintech firms in Malaysia, especially or particularly in terms of digital and accounting management?
Hi, and thank you for having me. It's an exciting topic, and I'm happy to share our journey and why we're doing what we're doing. So, Swipey is a financial stack for modern businesses to automate and streamline their finance operation. So, in the process, you get better insight, you save money, and you eradicate all bad processes in while we do this. Now, so why is this important? If you think about a business, the finance is the pulse of a business. It's where you get your insight into the direction it's going, where it needs to go, what it's done. But more importantly, it also then is a point of where you need to submit your documents to the inland revenue. You also then use the documentation for getting loans and finances. So it's a very critical part. Most often time kept at the back office, forgotten until it's time to submit your taxes for the year. So that's a big challenge within forgetting finance.
And what specific measures was implemented that was crucial and most needed that are able to address the challenges of managing expenses, approving the ad hoc spending, and organizing tax receipts for the corporations?
Right. So what we've done is we've reversed the activity value chain in a company. So if you think about how your finance team today might act, um, the majority of the actions and activity happens if you imagine a pyramid at the bottom of a pyramid where there's a lot of processes, claims, approval, submission, record keeping, all that manual activity, which essentially takes up 80% of a day-to-day task. And then the critical component of it, which is the next two tiers, the first one being the compliance and governance to ensure that they're all by policy or you've located to the right accounting ledger, making sure that you've paid or not paid is the second component. And the last one is the analytics and insights, where you understand how your company is behaving and using those insights to take actions. Those ways end up spending only 10 to 20%. That's how a pre-Swipey company would work. So when we started Swipey, we wanted to reverse that pyramid. We said, let's automate and reduce the work required from a manual activity, day-to-day activity, and automate the compliance as well as the policy settings so that businesses can focus on growing and using the finance team to accelerate growth. That was the mission statement. So we started off with expenses because that's where most of this manual activities as well as policy benchmarking happens. However, that's not where we stop. Our vision is to do the wing-to-wing financial operation for a business, putting focus around the compliance and governance component, then moving into the insights and analytics by first automating and streamlining all the manual activities.
And what strategies has Swipey employed to achieve its goal of break-even on November 23rd? And what are some of the challenges does it anticipate in reaching this milestone ahead of the August deadline?
All right. So some of the strategies. So our thesis was existing processes and the way the systems work are very much in silos, creating these challenges. So the first hurdle we had to overcome is one, unifying core banking capabilities within a platform that also behaves like a finance operating platform. So going beyond just making payments, is the steps before and the steps after that we have automated. Now, this itself is the next step for most businesses, as they don't have to jump between platforms and making mistakes along the way. So that strategy of unifying and then building on top of it is where I think our customers have seen value. So therefore, the number you quoted, the number of customers that onboarded with us, have seen that benefit, and they're seeing that immediate cost saving and elimination of bad processes as they start using us. Now, challenges that I see that we face, one, if you consider that 20 to 30% of the population of your customer base know they have a problem and they go out and solve it, find a solution to solve it. The remaining 70% don't even know they have a problem, or they're not aware of it. So part of our remit, Swipey's remit, is to go highlight the challenges and some of the shortcomings that maybe because years of practice, you think that's how you're supposed to work. We are trying to enlighten the community and our users that, hey, there is a better world out there. And the better world is not having a finance team in the back office and pushing paper.
And what strategies that was in place to manage and attract a diverse clientele from various segments, sector, including the digital economy space, and what benefits can be offered to even bigger or larger businesses such as Malaysian telco, hospital chain, and even education service provider?
So it's not a, unfortunately for me, I guess, and my team, it's not a one size fit all. So different strategies are deployed for different type of businesses, different age group and profiles. So for the more broad mass kind of companies, we run a lot of webinars. We perform a lot of enlightenment educational pieces, which is aligned with the MDEC and the government's intention to elevate financial literacy among this community, among the Malaysian community. So we have taken a step ahead with creating all this financial literacy, which is a click of a button away, 10 minutes, 20 minutes each session, that they can participate either via webinar or recorded session, which we highlight not Swipey's benefit, but really some of the steps you can take to run your business more efficiently. So that generally works where it's low touch point from us. We create this content, we share it. The other next strategy we do is we actually allow users to try our product for free. They have a good period to try it out. They can use it as a proof of concept, see the benefit, and then launch it. For larger organizations, we tell them, yes, do a proof of concept with your team. Start with the department, right? And maybe with Astro, maybe it's your department. You guys started first. Use it for your spend and your financial well-being. When you see the success and show the success, we then communicate to the other departments, and we grow that way. That's how we've managed to get not only the larger enterprise from telcos to large F&B chains to educational chains. We also started getting inquiries and usage from government and government entities.
And can you provide some insight for Swipey trajectory growth, particularly in terms of its current transaction volume? What is to be expected growth in the 12 months and annualized recurring revenue?
So one of the things we measure is the activity of our users in our platform, and this includes how much spend is happening, how many bills are they paying, how many invoices are they paying, salaries being paid, are you using our platform to pay your online subscription, your marketing spend. So we measured that activity, and that activity is a term we use as transactional volume. Today, our transactional volume is about 20 million USD a year. We've been growing at a 25% month on month on this. So I think we always as a startup want to do more, but it's a respectable number nonetheless. Our goal is to achieve 100 million USD by end of the year, and we are heading that direction. And the way to get there is not only do we help customers understand what other further spend can go on our platform, we also expand our acceptance through our effort with partners to make sure more and more can be done. So that's one of our goals for the year. And while achieving that, the startup glory is, at least in today's climate, with the funding winter, is to achieve profitability the soonest.
Mhm.
There's the idea of let's burn cash and let's grow at any cost is no longer the, I guess, the theory. So reaching profitability means that you've got a good fundamental unit economics, and then we've proven that we do have it, and therefore, in the next by end of the year, we will achieve our profitable status as well.
How does Swipey plan to adapt and evolve its platform to meet the changing needs and demands of its expanding client base, especially as it ventures into larger businesses beyond SMEs?
Well, it's definitely a tough situation. Being a
Mhm.
startup, our biggest challenge is resources. It's not only the money, but having people, the right people in our team, and
Mhm.
having the right time, like amount of time, right? So everything is based on that two limitation. When you start attracting different type of customers, and let's talk about a digital business, a next generation SME, who's an e-commerce platform or a tech house, versus a very enterprise, large, 3,000, 10,000 man team, the needs and wants, while the core component that we offer is fundamentally the same. So we are lucky that it's a nice flywheel. I can just plug and play in different places. There are differences, some unique differences in product needs, some very small. Customer support is far greater in between the two, as well as other commercial terms are very different between the two. A simple example: a smaller player will not come and argue with me about some of the commercial terms in the contract, while the larger one would, and they care about certain things, right? So those kind of discussions do take a lot of resource. So our task at hand is figure out from a survival point of view is, where do I deploy my small team and my small resources and my limited time, so that I can achieve my goals of not only transforming finance for the businesses in Malaysia and then Southeast Asia, but get that quick enough so that I've reached my profitability. So the answer to that is really in somewhere in between, where we get the right type of customers who are easy to adopt, easy to onboard, who understand the value.
And can you share any potential risks and challenges that Swipey might face as it aims to scale its operation and penetrate the new market segments?
Competition is always going to be one. Currently, in Malaysia, I think our product differentiation is strong enough. But you start going into the regional landscape, I think that's going to be something to consider. The other component to definitely consider is the ever evolving change in technology and the needs and wants of our customers. If you asked me 2 years ago when we started Swipey, uh, we spoke about machine learning and automating certain processes. And that's kind of translated into AI, and the need for AI in platforms is people are starting to expect a bit more. Since we are dealing with a lot of sensitive data, our challenges would be, how do you marry the both without risking the other? And so the technology piece is something that is evolving very fast, and we have to be on top of it. The customers' changes would also impact us. But more importantly, the way we're trying to de-risk this is decoupling some fundamentals of a business. Fintech, in the space that we are, generally a very regulated space. So we are decoupling our services from a very SaaS software oriented, which is not regulated, versus the regulated component, which are banking layers, issuing cards, making payments, receiving payments. Those are the regulated piece. So then we work with partners who are experts and leaders in their industry. Work with them, and we focus on the SaaS component of it, where we are the experts at.
And how did Swipey handle integration of its platform with existing accounting systems used by its corporate clients?
So, yes, I actually wanted to make a video of this and share it to my social media. It wasn't as easy as we originally whiteboarded. We just
Mhm.
thought, let's push information across the integration. The challenges were the data level, right? It's the what data do you send, at what time do you send, what happens if the data changes, how will the user experience this movement of data without incurring mistakes, as well as increasing time to do it. So it was a lot more difficult than we thought. However, um, what we've ended up finding out was having knowledge in finance prior hand was very helpful. So me and my co-founders, having spent many years in large MNCs within corporate finance and finance operation, we could see that all that experience was directly transferable to what we were doing. And in many occasions where you will be always hearing, oh, listen to the customer, we found ourselves educating the situation and explaining to the customer, hey, we've got a better way of doing this. Why don't you give it a go? I think that was the where we're like, hey, if you want me to digitalize exactly what you're doing today, you're not gonna get the best efficiency outcome. Why don't we try what we've learned? So that part was, I think, exciting. As suddenly it was, oh, the years of working hard didn't go to waste.
And we don't want to waste another more year. And how, what, and where after this plans for Swipey to have for future expansion or even enhancement of its services beyond the Malaysian market?
So, to be honest, even the Malaysian market is still very much underserved. So we were definitely going to start pushing harder. From a customer acquisition point of view, you called it out. 1,000 customers is what we have today, just over. We want to reach a number of 20,000 in Malaysia. So it's a big ask, but 20,000 from a bigger scheme of things is not a large number if you consider the SME and the enterprise put together. It's quite a small percentage. But achieving that would also mean our product needs to evolve, not only covering what we do today, covering a bit more in terms of governance and compliance, as well as some payment capabilities. So we need to expand on that piece. That's the Malaysia landscape, right? When you think about Southeast Asia, well, it's a wide market. You got to think about which country do I go into first, where we're going to be successful, most successful. All the countries have the same needs, so that'll be the first task to do. Finding the right partners in those countries would be the next task. That'll help us grow faster. So we named the regular ones VIP, as in Vietnam, Indonesia, and Philippines. So we got our eyes set on them, and we'll start with one of them by end of the year, at least testing the market on our SaaS component, and we'll take it from there. Our aim is to be a Malaysian champion of a startup that is in a regional space.
And we know the challenges of managing expenses efficiently and meeting regulatory requirements are universal concerns for businesses. And I want to say thank you very much for helping us understand on how we can address these regulatory concerns and promote transparency and even accountability in the financial management. Again, I want to say thank you very much to the co-founder and CEO at Swipey, Kalyana Mohon Tagarajan, and all of our discussion will be featured in astroawani.com.